Hello, everyone. Welcome to Two Heads Up. I'm Pat. That's Amanda. We're at Amanda's house. We decided to go the cheap way this week, and instead of going to the movie theaters and watching the movie, we watched one at her place. This week we saw Catfish.
Catfish.
Catfish, completely not what I expected the movie to be. It was okay. Basically, it's young filmmakers document their colleagues' budding online romance with a young woman and her family, which leads to an unexpected series of twists and turns and discoveries. For a long way of making it short.
Without revealing too much.
The main characters of the movie, which really is a documentary. Jinx. Stars Schulman, Ariel Schulman, and Yaniv Schulman, whose nickname was Neve. His brother Ariel Schulman, whose nickname was Rel, and Henry Joost, whose nickname was Henry.
Or as his picture showed, oh, Henry.
So basically, what the movie is about is
Catfish. It's basically all about catfish. It's a fish movie.
No, it's not. Neve is a photographer that lives in New York City, and Abby is a little girl who does paintings. She saw a picture that Neve took of a man holding up a dancer in a park, and she painted it and sent it to him, and it started an online pen pal ship, if you will,
between
with
the
them
24-year-old Neve and the 8-year-old Abby. So Abby and Neve are pen pals now.
Right. So after Neve starts getting different paintings from Abby of pictures that he took to send to her for her to paint, her mother tells him her mother's name was Angela.
And they were corresponding through her. Again,
well, through
Abby's
voice they were corresponding through her, and on Facebook. But their emails back and forth were to Abby at the beginning. Mm-hmm. Then it turned into the emails from Angela to Neve and Rob and Henry. They all got to know each other, so they started filming a documentary about this. Saying how it's cool and online romance is budding between Angela's oldest daughter, who is 19 years old.
Named Megan.
Thank you. Who's named Megan, whose picture at the bottom half.
That's Megan. That's Nick. Megan. Nick. Oh, but online, she suddenly is, oh, thank you for being so nice to my sister. And then they start a relationship completely unrelated to Abby and her paintings. And that's when the story gets interesting. That's when this really takes off.
And so she starts sending him all kinds of, well, I'm not going to ruin any of it. That's when the online romance starts budding, like Amanda just said. And it goes from there. They wind up going to Michigan. So, even though the movie came out in 2010, it was shot in 2007. Some of the ways that different newspapers described the movie was thrilling, gripping, enticing. They made it sound like to be a very dramatic thriller movie. It really wasn't.
It's not.
It was a documentary of three guys helping one guy find his true love and all the quirks that were on the way.
Well, it's more like a guy who had kind of an odd thing happen to him on Facebook, and he just happens to be living with a photographer and a documentarian. And they're like, hey, this could be cool to follow. Let's see where it goes.
And they went with it.
And it went good.
It went well. Once again, we do all our ratings on a 1 to 5 scale. 1 being run away, don't do it.
Take a tail,
wrong.
so
5 being Go see it now. Then go see it again. Then go see it again, then buy it on DVD and the soundtrack that comes out to it. Like I did for Iron Man 2.
But I think I liked it. This is the second time I've seen it because this is my DVD. And I thought it was very... I like... You go into it watching, expecting at the beginning one thing. Then around the middle you're like, aha! And then around the end you're like, oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. And that's not revealing anything, but that's about the tone of the movie. That's about the way it goes. And it's actually very entertaining for being I'm not going to say a fast-paced or slow-paced. It's kind of like an average speed movie.
Not even.
It's
slow-paced.
It's slow-paced, but it goes at the right speed for the story.
Right.
And you don't feel like you're being left out of the story. You feel like you're figuring it out just as they are. And they really did do the movie as it happened. It really is just two guys who know how to run a camera filming stuff that's happening in their lives.
So literally it was as they were figuring out, so were we.
Exactly.
Literally.
Which is what I like about it.
Literally.
And being that it is an actual, for once, documentary that's true to life and real life.
Literally.
And the footage is actually from what happened.
Literally. And I don't know.
It was not only a true story, it was actually footage from as it happened. I think it was really well done considering all that. And it actually has a twist in it that you wouldn't expect from anywhere, and it just made the movie. Like, you're thinking, okay, I've got it all figured out, and then you're like, what just happened?
Here's the thing, if that twist didn't happen, I doubt that this movie would be selling.
Oh, God, no.
And I doubt it would be a movie. I doubt it would win Sundance. I doubt that Universal would have picked it up. Which, by the way, a little tidbit, they came up with the name Catfish well before Sundance happened, but they didn't actually give them the not the professional name, the finalized name of Catfish until the night before the programs were made for Sundance.
Because they thought it was dumb. They had a friend of all three of them said, no, this is what you're going to call it. Trust me.
You don't know it yet, but you're going to call it this.
This is what you're going to call it. And they're like, no, that sounds kind of dumb, Catfish. And then it grew on them. And if you watch the movie all the way to the end, it makes sense. And you're like, nah.
They'll explain it to you.
And it actually is a very poignant, kind of nice thing, the way they did it. It's really cool, actually. And it really finishes the movie really well.
Yeah.
It ties
so some of the things that I picked up in the movie and that I liked a lot were the fact that it did look like it was a film student. They were artists. They weren't just like, oh, let's grab a camera and do this funny thing like Blair Witch Project or well, it was a shaky cam.
Yeah, but it was done in a way that you didn't feel like you were going to be nauseous.
Right.
Or
it wasn't like Cloverfield or Blair Witch Project 1 or 2.
It was the right balance.
A couple of scenes in different
movies
that would have you do that. Not necessarily a whole movie. Some scenes felt like a whole movie, but some scenes felt like they were. It wasn't as provocative as they said it would be. It wasn't really suspenseful. But yeah, I give it
halfway through, but then it twists on.
I'll give it an honest 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree on you on this. I would almost want to go 4, but no, I'm not. I wasn't that quite into it. I've seen it twice now, and it is well worth seeing at least once, purely for the end. You could watch the last half of the movie and be like, that's pretty decent. And
this is, I guarantee you, within maybe the next year or so, depending on how well sales did for it, you will see this on TV.
It's short enough to where it could be on a TV thing, and
there won't be a lot of edits to it either,
because
there's no profanity in it.
Actually, as far as I know, they blurred their own profanity already.
Right. It was pretty good.
It's a solid movie. It's a good watch on if it's. I think what's a good. It's just worth watching. It's worth watching at least once.
There were times that it was hard to kind of go along with where they were, or where I was trying to envision where they were going, but they wound up bringing it back in after a short little tangent like we do when we're filming.
And they edited it really well. Like, you still follow the story, and you get lost when you're supposed to. Like, when they're lost and they don't know what the heck is going on, that's when you're supposed to be lost. So it followed well with what happened to him,
Right.
despite editing out whatever they needed to edit out.
So, altogether, we give it a 3.
I think so.
Check out our other reviews, as there are many. Please tell your friends about us. Tell them to go on Facebook, click that like. Go on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Go on Twitter to @2headsup. Check out our feed. So we'll see you later.